So you want your brand to be recognizable, to be a big name brand like a Coca-Cola or an Apple, right? You want your brand, your images, your products, your information in front of more customers to make it feel like you're kind of everywhere, right? Well, we know the way that we can achieve this is by creating microcontent. So that's what we're talking about in today's video. Hey, I'm Coach Molly from Visibility Hacking Studios, and we help small businesses and entrepreneurs blow up their visibility online by creating what we like to call connection machines. And part of that is building big visibility in a way that doesn't take a ton of our time. Doesn't require us to create brand new videos every single day, to be filming constantly until you go cuckoo and cross-eyed, right? The reality is, whether you have a blog, a podcast, a live show, whatever it is, each and every one of those pieces of content needs to be launched kind of like a movie. Big, each and every piece of content. If you do that wrong, it can be absolutely exhausting. So let's talk about launching without the exhaustion. We're going to talk about what drives a wild engagement. We'll talk about using gold to make gold, and why timing is everything. See you after the intro. First things first, I want you to identify the platforms that your audience is already engaging with you on. Let's take Instagram, for example. A lot of people are following along using stories, maybe. And that's where you're starting to really get a connection with your audience. Maybe it's just a few people are liking and sharing your posts. Maybe you're getting a couple hundred views on your stories or your reels, whatever it is. Let's use Instagram as an example. The second thing I want you to do is to then drill down deeper and understand what are the drivers, what drives engagement on those platforms with your type of audience. For example, on Instagram, things that are quite popular, carousel posts, quote cards, and things that make people envious. When you unlock those drivers on each individual platform for your audience, then you're going to see a huge boost in engagement. Why? Because you're following the trends of things that work. Of course, you're going to have to start out by testing out each of these to see what types of engagement, what types of posts work. But the easy way to start is to look at pieces of content that grab your attention. Have a list of those types of content, continue to add to it, and then you can continue to try those different types of content on your ideal audience. As they start to bite, as you start to see that engagement rise, you start to reproduce the types of content that are giving you the most engagement. That's the very simple process. Another simple process that you can follow is to make sure you hit the subscribe button here on the channel, because there's so much great content we're putting out for you that you do not want to miss. I promise you. The next step that you have to take to create your content is, now that we know the types of content we need to be creating to create some kinds of engagement, we're then going to look at the major content we're already creating. So say you have a podcast. Your podcast episodes are your major pieces of content. If you have a blog, your long-form blog posts are your main pieces of content. What we're going to do is look at creating micro-content that is based off of, or the offspring of, your main pieces of content. So go look for golden nuggets within those pieces of content that you're already creating. Things like quotes, things like funny images, things like great moments of wisdom, funny moments, open loops. The possibilities are endless, but you want to find those pieces that you find super valuable in your episode, but also the things that will generate engagement with your audience. So we love to build live shows in the visibility hacking world. And what's fantastic is when you build the big long live show, there's so many different moments to test out different pieces of content to gather engagement. We then take those moments, create micro content off of those, and get even more connection with our audience. Simple tip. If you like this content and you want to see more, make sure that you hit the thumbs up. It really helps the channel, because it really does help the channel, because it helps me know what you want to see. Now, we've taken our big piece of content, we've broken it up into smaller pieces of content, we know what is already gathering engagement, so we know that we're going to have some type of boost in our visibility with these posts, but the next step that you have to take is to make sure that you actually schedule out these posts, because you can't just sit there and dump them all on your people at once. One of the secrets to visibility is building out that dripped out content that makes you show up on people's timelines every single day. There are so many different apps and platforms that you can use to schedule out your posts depending on where you are putting them, but look into different solutions that would fit the platforms that you're using. Remember, don't start creating content on platforms that you don't already have a connection to your audience with, at least at first, because it is so tempting to try and be everywhere at the same time. And just because you can post to a variety of different platforms doesn't necessarily mean that you should. I could go on about this forever, but we don't have time. We gotta wrap this one up. So make sure that you join me over in the Visibility Hacking Facebook group. You can get the link if you head over to visibilityhacking.com. There's a link at the top of that page that says Become a Visibility Hacker. It'll take you directly over there, or better yet, if you're already on Facebook, just type in Visibility Hacking and it'll show you over to our awesome group. We'll see you over there for Friday Night Live and so much more. Until I see you again, remember, I love you. Be excellent to each other, and just go live. Your people are waiting for you.